Welcome back to Good and Crazy News, y'all. It's your boy Aki, and I'm back with another episode.
And my mommy's here.
Oh my God. And y'all know I got my trusty co-executive producer in the house.
What's going on, guys?
Y'all, we have a really good show for y'all tonight. I'm going to start off by talking about Steve Bannon with the government shutdown. This is kind of like an old story now, but I'm going to try to bring it in so that we can understand what's happening. Steve Bannon said that he predicts that him and others in the GOP are going to go to prison if the Democrats win the midterm. And it's true.
Yeah.
It says right here, it says former Trump advisor Steve Bannon has said he could face prison time if Republicans fail to win control of the House and Senate in next year's midterm elections. Y'all, let me tell y'all something what they're doing down here. These people, they are really going on and trying to make sure that that they get their point across.
Yeah. That's true.
The Republicans, what they're doing right now is they're telling their base, listen, throw as much money as you can at these upcoming midterms. Make the Democrats look as bad as you can, because if you don't, we're going to lose.
Right.
Because there was a blue wave that just ran across the country last week. And now everybody's pissed off at the Democrats about what happened with the government shutdown. Now, we're going to get to that a little bit later. But right now, let me just give you this right here. It says, Steve Bannon said, and I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, Bannon told a crowd at Conservative Partnership Institute on Wednesday, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more radical. Now, I just have to say that's funny as hell that y'all think that the Democrats are the radical people. Like, what?
Right.
We are the 10th democracy over here. Our group has everybody in it.
Yeah.
So how are we radical? We're not radical. Only the people who are of a certain subset are radical. You can't radicalize a tent group. Our group has everybody in it.
You're right.
Y'all, he says they're not going to stop. They're getting more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. Bannon served 4 months in prison in 2024 after defying a congressional subpoena from a January 6th committee. Earlier this year, he pleaded guilty to defrauding donors to his We Build a Wall nonprofit, avoiding more jail time. President Donald Trump previously pardoned Bannon for related federal charges. And this is why it matters. It says, because in March, Bannon made a similar remark on his War Room podcast saying, God forbid we don't win in 2028. President Trump is going to prison just like Bolsonaro in Brazil. And what's the reason why Donald Trump might go to prison? We talked about this just the other day. What is the reason why Donald Trump might go to prison? No, it's because of him asking Georgia for what? 11,000 votes.
Yeah.
That is the crime that he avoided by becoming president. Y'all, I have a video for this I want to show y'all. Y'all want to watch this? Y'all watch this.
The midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop. They are getting more and more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right? We have to codify.
You know what I have to say with that? What? Bye, Steve Bannon. The fuck out of here, because you are wild as hell and crazy. So you put these two stories back to back? Well, you know what? It's appropriate. You did the right thing.
Timeline of events.
Yeah. So y'all, let me just let y'all know what's going on right here. Let me take Steve Bannon ugly face up off my computer first. I'm trying to figure out where he is at so I can take him down because I don't even see nothing with his face on it. Wait, where's Steve Bannon at? Oh, okay. You know, you got all of these stuff going on. All right, y'all. The next story is I'm going to talk about Chuck Schumer. Okay. Y'all, I've been kicked in my face about this story, and I'm going to play a video that's kicking me in my face about this story. But at the end of the day, I'm still pissed off at Chuckles.
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer went down there after 40 days of government shutdown and had 8 Democrats come up there and side with the Republicans to get the government reopened back up. I'm still pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to play a video for y'all later that shows the reason why I shouldn't be pissed off about it. But for right now, I'm going to stand on business.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes from USA Today. It says, Democrats versus Democrats. Shutdown fight gets bigger for one party. Now, y'all know I listen to Clay Kane every single day. And he was like, Democrats always turn a win into a loss.
Yeah.
It says, after a handful of moderate senators cut a deal with Republicans to reopen the government, Democrats from every corner ripped through the group and accused them of squandering the party's leverage. I mean, because of the video that I have to play later, I'm really kind of pissed off because how dare me say the things that I'm going to say right now about this, what happened. It says the agreement brings back brings backfired federal workers and funds to food assistance at higher levels, but only includes a promise of a vote to renew expiring Obamacare subsidies that were at the heart of the shutdown. Now, remember I told you that story the other day about your brother holding you hostage? Like, you want the key. Brother, give me the key to mama's car. She said I could drive the car. No, mama gave me the key. I'm holding on to the key. If you want this key, you got to lick my toes. And then you go down there, you lick your brother's fucking toes, and then he goes, psych! And don't give you the key.
Right.
That's what the Democrats and Republicans are going through right now. But I do have a caveat. I do believe that, because this is going to come back up again in January. We're going to have another supposed government shutdown because the Republicans said they want to talk about this later. Later means January. Okay? So when they come back to talk about this American Health Care Act again in January, are the Republicans actually going to sit down and talk with the Democrats and actually try to make health care better for the American people?
Right.
Or do you think that they're not going to do it? You think it's just a kick the can down the road situation? Or do you think they're actually going to do what they say they're going to do?
Maybe, I don't know.
We're talking about a bunch of people. We ain't talking about one person. It says right here, the U.S. Senate on Monday passed a funding package to end the record-breaking shutdown, putting the federal government on a path of reopening in the coming days. Presidential aspirants trashed the Senate Democrats who crossed the aisle to support the measure. Winners from last week, including Mickey Sherrill of New Jersey and Zora Madami of New York City, are among the bill's harshest critics. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer didn't vote for the measure, yet found himself in trouble anyway. Schumer drew an ire of Democrats in March when he voted to keep the government open. Now, I don't know if you remember the other day, I called this out already. I was like, Chuck Schumer's down here talking. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, Chuck Schumer is down here talking. And then next thing you know, there's 8 Democrats that signed on to the bill to reopen the government.
Right.
Not standing on business. Now, I agree with a lot of people that says, why did you cave if we was doing all of this stuff to make sure that Americans have health care and the Republicans use food to basically tell the Democrats, hey, we're going to starve the people. And if you don't give us what we want with the American Care Act, we're just going to starve the people. And we're going to make it look like it's your fault. And that's what they did. Yeah. They made it look like it was our fault. Again, Y'all, the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is coming up. People don't have food. You know, the lines at the food banks were off the chain. They were down the street and around the corner.
Yeah.
When I went and got my hair cut today, there's a food bank in my barber's area. And when I pulled up today, it was so jam-packed, I couldn't even find a place to park.
Oh.
I was like, where am I going to park at? I've never seen it that full before and that busy before. I had to park across the street at the barbecue place and walk back. I walked in the barbershop. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, the food bank, they giving out food. I'm like, dang, so it's jam-packed like this over here? True tea. It says Democrats held out for more than 5 weeks for an Obamacare vote before the moderate group announced a deal on Sunday. Now, I have a problem with them doing this deal on Sunday. First of all, they did it on Sunday, which, you know, nobody's paying attention.
Right.
And on top of that, they did it at night.
Okay.
Why didn't they wait till Monday morning so they can catch their heat from everybody for going over there and signing that bill? I don't know. But they did it in the middle of the night, which to me is shady. Now, the 8 people that they got down there to go ahead and sign this bill, none of them are up for re-election. They're all retiring after this. So it's like Chuck Schumer used their ass as pawns to go down there and do this thing. Because none of them are running again.
Right.
They're all like, oh, we're done after this. Oh, okay, so we'll be the sacrificial lambs because guess what? We got our money, we got our food, we got everything. We don't care. I'm not going to say that they don't care about people, but I will say this. Why they did this, I don't know. And I'm being very selfish when I say this, y'all. I shouldn't even be saying this, what I'm saying. It says the deal came together after 5 Democrats who aren't the ballot, aren't on the ballot in 2026, agreed to flip their votes. Janine Sheehan of New Hampshire, Dick Durbin of Illinois, Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire, Jackie Rosen of Nevada, and Tim Kaine of Virginia. They were joined by 3 other members of the Democratic caucus, Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, John Fetterman, which we know is a grifter, of Pennsylvania, and Angus King, an independent from Maine, who've been voting for a Republican bill from the start. Durbin is the number 2 Democrat in the Senate. He and Sheehan are both retiring. That's what I'm saying. They was like, you know what? We ain't going to do that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. There's this lady I have a video of I'm going to play right now, which makes me squelch my whole argument about why we are caving to the Republicans on this.
Yeah.
And she makes a lot of sense. Now, what she's saying, y'all, I totally agree with, but let me see where the video is at because I don't see this as being the next video. Let me see. No.
Videos.
All right, y'all, watch this.
Videos that people have been making about the Dems caving, and one person after another is going off. And, you know, I also made a video saying that I'm disappointed in them, and I am. But I also know that I am not a federal worker with a mortgage. I'm not an air traffic controller that's been working 12 hours for free. I am not a member of the military. I am not a woman with SNAP benefits that need to feed her kids on the eve of the holiday season. No, I am a college professor in my beautiful home with a good salary and good insurance, some of the best in the country. So it's easy for me to say, toe the line, hold the line, when I ain't hurting. I want to see air traffic controllers on here telling the Dems hold the line, even though I've been working nonstop in the most stressful job in the world where people under 50 years old get heart attacks from working this goddamn job. I want to see military saying hold the line, even though I ain't been getting paid and I don't know how to keep the heat on in my house. I want mothers and
Now, this sister's saying something. She's saying something that I needed to put into my brain as I sit up here as a person that's criticizing the Democrats for doing what they're doing. Y'all finish listening.
parents and disabled folk that get snapped to come on here and say, hold the line, even though I ain't got a piece of food in my goddamn refrigerator. Because those are the people that get to say, hold the line. The Democrats are in a no-win situation. Whether they hold out or they cave, they're going to get blamed all the time. And I don't see any of this rage at the people that started it in the first damn place, and that would be the GOP. The GOP started this shutdown. They have the numbers in the White House. They have the numbers in the legislative branch. They got it in the goddamn Supreme Court. And nobody is angry at them. They're going out to eat. They've been on 6 weeks of vacation. They're in restaurants. They're in grocery stores. They're on vacation. And nobody's harassing them, but everybody got smoke for the fucking Dems. Everybody got smoke for the Democrats. There shouldn't be one place in the world Mike Johnson should get any peace. That's even in his own home. There should be crowds outside his house saying, why are you keeping this shutdown going? Because even though those Dems, those 8 Dems, yeah, those noodleback Dems, even though those 8 went along with the scheme of the Senate, guess what's going to happen in the House? They ain't passing shit. They ain't even going to take up this continuing resolution. They ain't even taking it up. Because Mike Johnson is shutting the government down because he wants to protect Donald Trump from the perverted Epstein files. But where's the smoke for the GOP? You know, Democratic voters love to stone the Dems. They're weak, they don't fight. But I want you to put yourself in a position of Democrats watching all this stuff happen, watching all this pain on American people, and ask yourself, what would you do? When planes start crashing in the sky, when babies are hungry and almost starving, what are you going to do when someone gets a foreclosure notice because they haven't been able to pay their mortgage? What are you going to do? What would you do? Because I'm telling you right now, somebody on here, some guy gonna say, when you play chicken, you know, somebody coming at you with a car, you just gotta be willing to die. And again, I ask him, what's your job? You a federal worker? Air traffic controller? Member of the military? A disabled person? Who are you? Because I promise you, whether the Democrats cave or the Democrats hold out, they still gonna destroy healthcare because they got the numbers to do it. They got the numbers to do it. And as long as people keep voting for the GOP, we're gonna continue to be in this position. So your anger, while justified, is also misdirected because I don't see any of this heat for the GOP, and they the ones that started this in the first fucking place. Why don't you go over there and get them a little bit of this smoke that you keep giving the Democrats? Why don't you do that?
Now, you know what? Dr. Sharon Neely, she said what she said.
Yeah.
And even though we want to shame Chuck Schumer, and everybody's piling on him and dogging him out and treating him like he ain't shit right now, he kind of did what he had to do.
Yeah.
Because we're going to lose. It doesn't matter. Now, everybody's talking about primary him and do all of this. You know what primary means, right? That means put people up to run against him so he don't win again. Like, kick him out.
Oh, okay.
And according to what this lady just said, like, you know, like, it's easy for us people who's not being affected by SNAP benefits and not working for TSA, not being an air traffic controller, none of us getting paid or getting food for our kids, to sit up here and say that we should toe the line.
All right.
She's saying perfectly, like, unless those people are out there saying toe the line, we should shut the fuck up.
All right.
Right? Unless the people who are really being affected are not out there saying what they need to say, we need to shut up. But here's another thing. Do we know if they were actually speaking out or not? Because I want to look online to see if they were actually speaking, because a lot of people who are on Snap, if we didn't hear them speaking with their words, they were definitely speaking with their actions. Because the lines at the food banks was off the chain.
Yeah.
Across the country, the lines at the food banks was off the chain. Maybe that's the voice that they had that we needed to hear, is that, hey, you know what? We out here, we ain't got no food. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, like she said, air traffic controllers and all these people that work for the government that have been furloughed and all this, they have mortgages they have to pay.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to sit back and say, Chuck Schumer, you need to hold off. Well, you know what? They were asking for a referendum to extend the credit for 1 year, which will make it until November of next year, which is the midterm. Mm-hmm. And so per our prior election we just had a week ago where we swept everything, I think it was a good move for them to come to this, because if the midterms go the way we think they're going to go, then we should be able to get the American Care Act back into where it needs to be. And that's just me thinking logically.
Yeah.
Now, Steve Bannon, like we just heard him say, he's trying to get all his people riled up and back ready to go out there and fight and spend money so that they can come out looking like they're the ones who is winning the election, because they're going to do it by spending money. That's what he said. Y'all, we going to jail unless we spend some more money up down here. That's what he said.
Right.
There's nobody to slam in this story. Unfortunately, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Before I came on this show and before I heard what Dr. Neely had to say, I was ready to crucify this man.
Yeah.
But now, since I heard the perspective of somebody that's just like, listen, you ain't the one that's down there being affected.
Right.
But my question is, are their voices being squelched? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And she's right. They needed to hit the streets. But a lot of times, poor people don't have time to hit the streets and go out and protest and stuff like that, because you know why? They got to go to work. This is what I hate. They love to say that poor people are just on Snap because they lazy and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? The reason why poor people like that don't protest is because they have to go to work.
Right.
They can't afford to miss a day because somebody said, hey, come down here and protest with us. Here's some signs to hold up while you talk about. They up there actually literally trying to get more hours at their job right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know what, Chuck? I don't know. I'm going to have to give you a pass today, even though I didn't want to. I was all down for the cause. Remember, I was like, come on, y'all. Don't give in. Don't cave.
Right.
And then they caved, and I was pissed. But when I was pissed, I was being selfish.
Right.
Because how dare me sit up here and ask these people to not get paid, not get no money, not get no SNAP for I don't know how many months until that's going to happen. Meanwhile, the Republicans is on vacation. All the Congress is not working. They still getting their check, and they running around doing everything that they want to do. And people are on vacation like, I don't know. It's just, this is so hard. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard. But hopefully we will win the midterms, and then we'll be able to come back and revisit the ACA later, where people can get their benefits and their Obamacare like they need to have.
Yeah.
Without paying 5 times the rate of what they're paying right now.
Right.
There's nobody that's slamming this. There's nobody to slam.
You're right.
Like, I was being selfish thinking that it's on me. Like, who am I?
Right.
Y'all, oh, Lord. Jojo. First of all, it's too packed in here for you to try to sit down. Y'all, Shannon Sharp is back up down here to the news again, y'all. Let me see what Shannon Sharp done did. Why you have him in before men's gossip section?
Because it's AUTO SLAMMM. I guess I could still put it in man's gossip. But still.
Y'all, Shannon Sharp accused of Gabby shows off mansion bought with his money. AUTO SLAMMM again. That just shows how stupid she is. Like, girl, you gonna take the man money and instead of investing it, you gonna turn around and buy some stupid mansion? Girl, that just goes to tell me what you really about. You about that bag, taking it from a black man. Girl, I ain't got nothing else for you. Oh, I guess this is where Mike Johnson's picture is supposed to come in that you had. Y'all, this is 3 pages. Okay, Lord. Is it really, do I really need to go through all of this?
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all, Speaker Mike Johnson, Mike Grinder Johnson, Keisha Mike Johnson, Grinder Johnson, who uses sniffies and Grinder to find out where the local people are at so he can blow their brains out with his head and not with a gun. It says, this comes from NPR. It says, on the 41st day of a record-long government shutdown, the U.S. Senate voted 60-40 to approve the continuing resolution to reopen the government. The measure will fund much of the government through January 30th. This is where it's going to come back up again. Okay, the ACA, and provide funding for some agencies through the end of next September. Which right after September, November is going to come around. This is a good thing. If the government gets shut back down again in September because they're not doing the ACA Act, that's going to have another blue wave come across. Yeah. I think that Chuck Schumer made the right decision. Now that I'm thinking about it, the timeline. Right. I think he did the right thing.
You think he mapped it out?
Yeah. He was like, look, we need 8 sacrificial motherfuckers to come down here and do this while the rest of us stand back and watch like this. We're going to send y'all 8 people that's not coming back.
Right.
For y'all to be the sacrificial lamb, because I have a plan, and I'm going to work out this motherfucking plan. Hopefully it's going to work.
Right.
Now he's doing like this, like, Lord. That's why Chuck Schumer was down in that picture with his head down. He was like, oh my God. Child, they are playing an evil game, and baby, we're going to see if we can make this thing work up down here.
Right. Yeah. I see what you mean.
So, you know what? I'm not going to be like everybody else and slam them. Child, you know what I'm going to do? Because this story is so important, I'm going to move Mike Johnson over here. You know what I'm saying?
Up there?
Huh?
And put Chuck up there?
And put Chuck up here. Right? Right?
Yeah.
The midterms, and we...
Let's see. All right, so even though Chuck is looking pitiful as hell in this picture, I mean, this is an appropriate picture, but the way I'm trying to make this battle work out, baby, I need for them both to be looking the same way. So, you know, grinding Mike Johnson is down there trying to start some shit. It says, the U.S. House of Representatives must also pass legislation which is not guaranteed before President Donald Trump can sign it into law. House leadership has told members to return to Washington for a vote as early as Wednesday afternoon. Now, these people been on. This is nothing I can't stand. If the government's supposed to be shut down and all this kind of stuff like that and everything, right? People not getting paid. Congress is still getting paid.
Yeah, they should start getting paid too.
Yeah, we still paying taxes.
Right.
Like, if the government is shut down, then why the hell we still paying? Like, we should all get a reprieve for the taxes that we should have been paying while the government was shut down.
Yeah.
It says 7 Democrats and 1 independent senator voted with nearly every Senate Republican to approve the stopgap funding bill after more than a month-long impasse that resulted in misused paychecks for millions of federal workers, delayed food assistance benefits, and air travel disruptions. Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky, who got his ass beat by another senator in his own fucking yard for running his damn mouth, was the sole GOP no vote. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, cat.
The funding package includes language to reverse reductions and enforce of federal employees by the Trump administration during the shutdown, protections against further layoffs through the end of January, back pay for federal employees, and a trio of appropriations bills, including one that will fully pay the Supplemental Nutrition SNAP program through September 2026. Now, this sounds good.
Yeah.
It says, this is a great victory for American people as it shows that the Senate can work. Senator Susan Collins, a Republican from Maine, said, a deal without Democrats' health care demands. It says right here, but the deal does not include an extension of subsidies for the ACA, Obamacare, and health insurance premiums that are set to expire later this year. Now, people on conservative black people are saying, you know, well, it's already going up. The rates are already going up. So what difference does this make? Well, the rates are going up because there was no contract. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? There was no signing of the bill. So whatever was written in the omnibus was already going to go through.
Right.
What the Democrats were trying to do was put in there a stopgap, like, hey, don't do that. Don't raise the premiums. Mm-hmm. That would have made the premiums come back down.
Yeah.
But see, it's already in place. That's why people are saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter. The rates are already up. Yeah, because the bill was not passed and whatever was already built in legislatively was already there. It was already in place.
Right.
It says most Democrats have refused to vote for a funding measure that did not include a concrete path to preserve the subsidies. Republican Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a Republican from South Dakota, said on Sunday he would hold a vote by mid-December on a bill of Democrats choosing to extend the expiring subsidies. Thune has said throughout the shutdown that Republicans would only negotiate the subsidies once the government was reopened. Remember, we talked about that, the whole bait and switch thing. But the Republicans don't know that, baby, guess what? That blue wave is coming for that ass. And because Donald Trump is not even on y'all side no more, he's not. It's going to happen. Donald Trump is scared as hell. Steve Bannon's scared as hell. They're all scared.
All right.
It says, this is a quote. It says, there's no guarantee that waiting would get us a better result, but there was a guarantee that waiting would impose suffering on more people. That's what the lady was saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, even though we were mad at Chuck Schumer, there's a long game that is here that we can play, and we need to play it. Because Miss Thing over here, she don't care. She's trying to blow people's brains out with her mouth and not a gun.
Right.
Senator Tim Kaine, a Democrat from Virginia, told NPR, but the majority of Senate Democrats disagreed that this was the best deal that they could get, doubting that Republicans would agree to extend subsidies without a pressure from an ongoing shutdown. That is true. We already talked about that.
All right.
After Democratic victories on the election late last week, some senators said it was a mistake to back down. Now, this story should have been before that other one, if that makes any sense, because now I'm speaking about this should have been ahead of that.
Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. So I'm not even going to read no more of this because we already went through this. But the fact of the matter is that, you know what, Chucky? What they like to call him, Chuckles and all kinds of stuff like that. Now, you know I watched those two white ladies, Pumps and that other white lady on that new show that I really love.
Yeah.
They was giving him the business. They was giving Chuck Schumer the business. But you know what? Now that all of this has come out and everything like that, I think that Chuck Schumer, we need to give him a pass.
Yeah.
Because the future was futuring.
Right.
As long as we keep going the way that we're going, like we on a path to beat these motherfuckers finally. And Chuck Schumer, I'm quite sure this was not a rush decision to do this. I'm quite sure it was sitting down, politicking, thinking about the future. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make it happen? Who's going to be the sacrificial lambs to go out there and say, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do this shit.
Right.
Protecting everybody else that sit in the background and said, we're not for it. Now, what Chuck should have did was he should have rallied his whole Senate before he told those 8 people in his private meeting. I'm going to put that in quotes because I don't know. Before he made his private meeting with those people, he should have got the whole Senate together and say, look, y'all, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
I need y'all to shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. Don't bash me in the process. And look at the future of what we got going. We just had a big blue wave last week. We got momentum. And certain people like Clay Kane was saying that the momentum got killed. The momentum is not killed. If you really think about this situation logically, the momentum is not killed.
Yeah.
We're on a warpath to win this. We are. We're going to get our way. And it's coming. It's coming. We're going to get it. Do you think we are?
Yeah.
If we keep going the way that we're going, we will. But Chuck, you got to talk to your people before you make decisions and let them know what's going on so that the media doesn't start saying that the Democrats are bashing your ass, and that's why you're looking like this right here. Because you didn't tell everybody as a consensus, hey, everybody, look, we're going to have a meeting. Everybody come together. These are the 8 people that's going to do this, and this is the reason why we're doing this, because we had a blue wave. We don't want people starving during Thanksgiving and Christmas. We want people to have their money, their paychecks. We want the skies safe. We want people to eat. You know, he should have did that.
Maybe he thought telling more people was going to mess it up.
We talking about his own constituency. We talking about his own
I
fellow
know.
senators. He should have did it, and he didn't. And that's why this happened. Chuck, I'm going to get your ass a pass today. It says, on the coming healthcare debate, Democrats now need to come up with healthcare legislation that can get the support of enough Republicans. Some Republicans in the House and Senate have expressed interest in preventing the Affordable Care Act premiums from skyrocketing, but many have also talked about the need for reforms like income gaps and fraud prevention. Now, listen, y'all, like I tried to tell y'all last week, I'm going to tell y'all again. People who's on these benefits are not doing fraud. What is the fraud?
Right.
I go to the hospital. I'm talking to my doctor. My kidney hurts. That's not fraud.
Right.
Because you pay the premium that people have been paying, because you pay the bill because people have been paying their premium. That's not fraud.
Right.
That's not waste and abuse that the people try to say that it is. Oh, Lord Jesus. It says, a few weeks is not much time for an overhaul, and people are deciding whether to keep their insurance plans next year. Speaker Grinder Mike Johnson, that wants to blow your brains out with his mouth and not a gun, told reporters on Monday that he would not guarantee an ACA vote in the House, and should a bill pass in the Senate, the government funding situation is not fully resolved for the year either. The full-year funding measures passed by the Senate include money for agriculture, military construction, and veteran affairs. Excuse me, where's the agriculture money going to go? You've been taking everything away from the farmers.
All right.
So where are you getting agriculture from? This is more money you're going to be sending to fucking Venezuela and Peru and Brazil and all those places that send us fruits and vegetables all the time? Is that what you're talking about? Because from my recollection, you taking everything away from the farmers.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I'm tired of y'all. Bye, Mike Johnson, Grinder Mike Johnson. Listen, if I ever see him on my timeline up down there to the grinder, I'm going to let him come blow my brains out. Because as far as what he talking about, it sounds like he got skills up down there.
You
Bye.
No, I'm not.
Chucky, you get a pass today. Lord.
Videos.
Oh, my goodness. So, what do you think about how I broke that down? Did it sound good, or did it make sense? Do you agree with it? You don't agree with it?
It made sense. I get it. You're saying that, like, Chuck basically did the right thing. He's trying to place down some tracks, you know what I'm saying?
He's laying tracks.
And all we gotta do is just
follow.
All right.
Chucky, you know, the Democrats always have the ability to turn a win into a lose. That's what some people are saying.
All right.
In the Democratic side. Clay Kane. That's what you said. And Reese was down there barking right behind him. You know how Reese do. These motherfuckers ain't shit. Girl, both of y'all shut up. You're playing into the narrative. Don't do that.
All right.
Y'all, my queen Wendy is up down here to the news. What's going on with Wendy?
It's good news.
Y'all, it says Wendy Williams does not have frontotemporal dementia. New test shows. Yeah, now let me give y'all some history. Now, y'all know that white lady Sheila down there has been trying to snatch Wendy's bag and keep her kids away from the money and her husband away from the money and everything like that. Child, Wendy's and said, I need my own doctor to come down here and evaluate me. And baby, they said I do not have dementia, baby. It says this comes from the Jasmine brand. You know I love the Jasmine brand. Oh. The former TV host recently completed a series of neurological tests in New York City, and according to the neurologist report obtained by TMZ, she does not have frontotemporal dementia. She never had it. They was lying on her ass to keep her damn money. The findings delivered to Williams' legal team late last month contradict a previous claim that the condition was justified for the long-term guardianship was been under for the past 3 years. Wendy has reportedly shown remarkable neurological resilience since becoming sober, but is still under strict restrictions and surveillance. Let me tell y'all something. What happened to Wendy can happen to anybody. Okay?
Yeah.
This is why I always say, y'all millionaires and billionaires and stuff like that. Billionaires already know this. A lot of new millionaires and new millionaire money people, like young people, athletes and singers and stuff like that, they don't know this. Don't ever put all your money in one bank. No. Keep your money in more than one bank, because when people like this Sheila lady come at the Wendy's bag because her money's in Wells Fargo, as soon as she say some shit to a judge, yeah, we think the bitch is crazy. We're going to freeze her money. Now, this is your chance to go to all your other banks and snatch your coin. See, but if all your shit is in one place, when they freeze your shit, now Wendy's sitting up there with nothing.
All right.
You ever heard the saying, don't keep all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket, y'all young celebrities out there. Y'all listen to me. Listen to Uncle Aki, because I'm finna tell you. Don't leave all your eggs in one basket. Now me, y'all know I got several banks up down here that I use, baby. I go to this bank for this, that bank for that, this one over here. Listen, y'all don't think Cash App is a bank, but it is.
Oh, but come on, cat.
Put your coins in Cash App too, baby. Okay? Because Cash App is really protecting people's coins up down here. Listen, y'all. I had some fraud on my actual real bank account the other day. And guess what? Cash App don't play with the girls. They be like, oh, you said this in the comment section? We're going to shut your shit down. We need to investigate you. They don't play. Shia says, as far as what's next, her legal team plans to file court documents in the next 2 weeks requesting a hearing to end the guardianship. If the judge denies the request, celebrity attorney Joe Tacopina intends to push for a jury trial and ask jurors to free Wendy. Why they didn't do that already, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, she's in China. Woman is basically in an insane asylum that the bank put her in. The bank. The bank put her in there.
How they do that?
The child, white folk, Jews, did that to Wendy.
So they using her money?
Yes, down. Child. Bye Wells Fargo. Bye Schiller. Bye again. We already talked about this at length. You don't remember? He looked dangerous as hell.
Yeah, but wait.
Than
You wanted to keep it so we can play the video.
Oh. Y'all, guess what, y'all? We'll be right back.
This show is brought to you by Chris Castaneda with Mortgage Right. Tired of throwing money away on rent? Escape the cycle and start building real wealth. Chris can help you land the perfect home loan for your unique situation. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade, we'll guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. Contact Chris today to get started.
They did. Y'all, my mama sitting up here telling me how Wendy get put in an insane asylum. What you say?
Well, who'll be able to take her out?
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get her out.
Oh.
Jews. You know how they do?
I didn't want to say that.
I did. You be saying a whole bunch of stuff up there here. My mama sitting up here capping with y'all today, y'all. I don't know why, but Judah want me to talk about Antonio Brown fine ass again. He want to see my reactions again, talk about fine ass Antonio Brown.
Not guilty.
Oh, look. And you know what? I do think he's not guilty. He's guilty for popping off the gun.
Yeah.
But he's not guilty for the intent, if that makes sense. You know they have all these levels: murder 1, murder 2, murder 3, attempted murder 1, 2, 3. I don't know which one it is. The one that's a mistake or whatever. But I know he ain't mean to do that. So what video am I supposed to be playing?
I forgot what it had on it.
Oh, Lord. It says... I got to read this again. I don't want to read this again,
Just play
y'all.
the video.
Y'all watch this.
NFL star Antonio Brown is facing attempted murder charges in connection with a shooting earlier this year in Miami. The former wide receiver was apprehended in Dubai and extradited back to the United States.
Police say the 37-year-old was taken into custody in Dubai and extradited to the U.S. He's being held in a New Jersey jail and will then be flown to Miami. Brown is accused of shooting at a man outside a celebrity boxing event in Miami in May.
Based on what our detectives saw, Brown was the aggressor. Brown was the one that shot. Brown is the one that's going to be arrested.
Police issued a warrant for Brown's arrest. They allege he shot twice at a man he'd fought with earlier and grazed his neck. But Brown never turned himself in. At this time, court records do not list an attorney for Brown. Thursday night, Brown posted in part on social media, "Handed over the keys to the socials while I go through this fight for my innocence."
Former NFL.
Okay, so I don't know what the video said. What was it saying?
I don't know either. I forgot. It was from Saturday. But there was an update today. And he pled not guilty.
Of course.
And dang, that's all they got.
Let me see. Let me look. Because, child, oh, Lord, let me see. Antonio Brown pleads not guilty. Let me see. Antonio Brown pleads not guilty.
When you type it, you just say the word while you type?
Because I'm trying to keep the people. You can't have dead air on the show.
No, I'm just saying. When I'm typing, I spell the whole word.
I was spelling the whole word. Okay, it says that he pleads not guilty, y'all. This come from ESPN. I'm gonna read the story for y'all real quick. Let me see. Y'all, first of all, let me blow this up because y'all know I'm blind as hell and can't see shit. All right, it says right here, it says that former NFL star Antonio Brown fine ass was returning Tuesday to Miami to face an attempted murder charge stemming from a May shooting, with his lawyer filing a not guilty plea on his behalf. Jail records in Essex County, New Jersey show Brown was released late Tuesday morning for a transfer to Florida. The former All-Pro wide receiver had waived extradition in Florida from New York, who he was brought to following his arrest in Dubai. Let me see what it says. According to an arrest warrant, Brown is accused of English. The actions. Okay, let me get to the point where they're talking about why he pled not guilty. Child. It says, based on his social media posts, Brown has been living in Dubai for several months. Okay, so several months. In a social media post after the altercation, Brown said he was defending himself because he was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. A second-degree attempted murder charge in Florida carries a maximum of 15 years of prison sentence, while up to $10,000 fine if he's convicted. Now, let me tell y'all something. Antonio, let me tell you something. The stupid thing that you did was you moved to Dubai. Why you do that? Why you moved to Dubai? You should have stayed your ass here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you ran away after this incident shows that you was scared.
Right.
Now, I say scared because I think he was scared.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, you should have called Russell Simmons and went over there to, I said Guam the other day, but it's not Guam. It's Bali. You should have went over there to Bali if you was guilty.
Right.
Okay, it says that Brown, who spent 12 years in the NFL, was an all-pro wide receiver, blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Brown has dealt with several legal problems over the years. He previously had accused of battery of moving truck drivers, several domestic violence charges, and failure to pay child support and other incidents. Now, listen, you're making yourself look crazy out here in these streets.
Right.
Now, that's why they're going to charge your ass, because you've been doing dumb shit all along.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Having a record of domestic violence and not paying child support does not mean that he is guilty of this. It doesn't. Right. Those things don't go together. But what happens is that when you're in trouble, a judge looks at what they call your rap sheet and makes a decision that, yeah, you did do this.
Right. Yeah.
Now, you could be sitting there going, because, me personally, I have a lot of charges. I've been in jail a lot of times, y'all. And guess what? I would never have imagined that I would have been in jail for any reason, but it happened to me.
Right.
Now, that's the same thing that happened with him. He was young, stupid, had money. When these domestic violence charges, It's probably just his girlfriend calling the cops. Mm-hmm. Every time. Because, women do that. I'm not finna get on a woman bashing train, y'all. Don't worry. I know y'all ready to jump down my damn throat right now. They're like, oh, hell nah. He was beating his wife.
I'm going to walk away because I need to calm down because bitches in here is motherfucking trying me and I'm ready to pop the fuck off. Because you're going to say and call me arrogant and like.
So, I don't know, to be honest with you. We should have pulled up all the charges and stuff. Let me see what else is down here. Oh, goodness, y'all. It says that, I don't care. Anyway, Antonio, you need to get your baby mamas to stand up on your behalf at this point. Everybody who you've done something to that you've been arrested for, you need to get them on your side.
Yeah.
And had them come down there and write letters saying that, you know what, we was 18 when I called the cops and said he was doing domestic violence. I was really just jealous because he had another girlfriend on the side and I was a side piece. And, I turned myself into the girlfriend and I called the cops because I found an open condom wrapper in his car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need to build a case for yourself now, boy. Now, I don't want y'all to come down here telling me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because he's guilty as fuck. I don't care.
Right.
I'm tired of black men being railroaded down here. Bye. Again. Huh?
None of them girls are on his side.
No, we don't know yet. We're going to find out. Oh, goodness, y'all. It's time for Black History, y'all. Oh, I didn't do men's gossip. I'm so sorry. Y'all, it's time for Black History up down here. It's time for boom, 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 boom. Black History. Y'all, on this day in 1831, Nat Turner was hanged. Mm-hmm. It says, after a failed uprising, white mobs killed hundreds of black people, and Nat Turner is hanged today in 1831. On November 11th, 1831, after a rush trial and conviction, like they always used to do to black people back in the day because we wasn't on the trial, jury, or nothing. It was just a bunch of white men sitting up down there, and whatever the F they said is what happened to you. Exactly. Mm-hmm. An enslaved black man named Nat Turner was hanged in Jerusalem, Virginia, after being convicted of leading a revolt against his enslavers. Mm-hmm. That's why Nat Turner was famous. After being it says on August 21st, 1831, Mr. Turner led a group of black people in a revolt against slavery. Other enslaved black people joined the uprising, and Mr. Turner's troops grew 60 to 70 people who fought white enslavers before being defeated by a militia. Now, you know what the militia is today, right? ICE is today's militia. Mm-hmm. Many of Mr. Turner's followers were killed or captured immediately, but Mr. Turner escaped and evaded searches for weeks before being captured on October 30th, 1831. Now, he was captured on October 30th, and his trial was on November 11th. That's quick as fuck in America.
Yeah. Excuse
me, y'all.
Y'all know
that's quick. Huh?
When you said that, it echoed.
I heard it too. It says enslavers and defenders of slavery throughout Virginia wanted Nat Turner and all who participated in the revolt harshly punished as an example to others who might be inspired by his efforts. In other words, they like, listen, y'all, we showing y'all N-words that if you try to escape and try to start a group down here to stop slavery, this is what's going to happen to you.
All right.
At least 18 black participants in the uprising were executed along with Nat Turner. However, in the months after the rebellion, angry white mobs began to torture and murder hundreds of black people who had not participated in the revolt. Which is what ICE is doing right now today. People sitting at home minding their damn business. Next thing you know, here come ICE banging on the door, snatching everybody out the building. harassing them and doing everything like that, that's the same thing that's happening right now. Terrorizing enslaved and free black people, conditions of enslavement worsened for thousands of enslaved black people as more cruel, barbaric, and traumatizing forms of control were implemented. Being that, this is in 1831. Imagine what we've been through from 1831 all the way to 1965 when we finally got the right to vote, through Jim Crow era, Reconstruction, and all of these terrible things, tearing down Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, Rosewood, Wilmington, all these places that just kept doing us dirty and wrong.
Yeah.
Conditions of enslavement worsens of thousands of enslaved black people as more cruel, barbaric, and traumatizing forms of control were implemented. In response to Mr. Turner's revolt, at least 9 states, Virginia, Alabama, Delaware, Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, and North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Wow, you know what? Let me see. These states that we just mentioned are still in alliance today.
Yeah.
Like, if your license gets suspended in Georgia, all of those states that I just mentioned get notice that your license is suspended, and when you can get pulled over any of those states, and then we'll lock your ass up and then send your ass back to wherever the fuck you got your license suspended at. It happened to me.
Yeah.
It happened to me. Passed laws targeting enslaved free black people and limiting their mobility. These laws prohibited black people from assembling freely, conducting independent religious services, or preaching to a crowd more than 5 people. Now, this last march that just happened in America for ICE and all type of shit like that, the Make America whatever parade. What was it called?
It was called the No King's March.
No King's March. How black people stayed away from that?
Yeah.
It was the same thing back in 1831. History repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again. It says some states passed laws criminalizing the education of black people. Like Donald Trump sits up there and says, now, I love the poorly educated.
Yeah.
There's still this playbook that they have. They do it over and over and over and over and over again. But you know what they're afraid of?
What?
They're afraid because now black people's income has risen 40% in the last couple of years. Like, we're doing more better and better than we ever have before in this country. And they're afraid of that. And every time black people have some type of economic push forward, they come back with the same shit that they did to Nat Turner. Some states also passed laws barring free black people from living in the state, period. Nat Turner, you know what? You're an ancestor. We're going to keep your name uplifted forever and ever.
Yeah.
And ever and ever. And we will never forget, as long as MAGA, white supremacists, KKK members are still out here doing what they do. And that's the end of Black History. I said what I said. And guess what? I ain't scared about it. Y'all, Diddy is back up down here to the news again. Y'all. So we finally got a mugshot of Diddy down there getting Fort Dix. Now, because we just talked about Nat Turner in such a way, I'm not going to sit up here and super bash this man right here, right now, because right now I'm on a level of let's see how we're going to treat the black man right up down here.
Yeah.
So even though Diddy is guilty of whatever he was doing and whatnot, we still going to talk about this story. It says that Diddy is settling into life at low security prison Fort Dix and reportedly has a job at the prison's chapel. At the prison's chapel, Nikki. Y'all, the disgraced music mogul requested he serve out his 50-month sentence at Fort Dix so he can enroll in the location's drug rehabilitation program. Diddy has enrolled, and his publicist, Judah Engelmeyer, spoke with CBS News about his new gig. Do you have a video for that?
No.
No, it says He works in the chapel library where he describes the environment as warm, respectful, and rewarding. I keep trying to tell y'all, these prisons that they put these people like this in is not prison.
Right.
It's just a place to go where you can't leave. Like I said, it's like being locked in the high school.
Right. Yeah.
He works in the chapel library where he describes the environment as warm, respectful, and rewarding. A former prison commissioner also spoke with news outlet, which listed several perks of the job. He got perks. These chaplains will frequently bring in food for religious services, which can be shared with the assistant, and it is the only places where inmates can congregate freely. Now, you know they're going to congregate. They're going to alleviate.
Oh, man, come on, cat.
I wonder what type of congregation this church is. Like, is it Catholic or is it like Seventh-day Adventist? Is it Muslim? Like, what is it? Because if it's Catholic, you know it's a whole lot of fornication going on down there. Last week, Diddy's team issued a statement denying reports that the bad boy had been caught with homemade alcohol in his cell. Child, we did that story. Mr. Combs is an active participant in the residential drug abuse program and has taken his rehabilitation process seriously from the start, Ingemeyer said. He is fully engaged in his work, focused on growth, and committed to positive change. I believe that. Bye, Diddy. Oh, goodness, y'all. Lord. Now, there's been a crazy-ass story going around that's saying that black kids in Memphis was stealing tanks and shit. Okay, it's been refuted that it's not true. This video was from 2020 when they were shooting a music video. They was not out there stealing tanks. I don't even got nothing else to say about that. Bye. Y'all, Donald Trump is down here. You know, we want to hear about his health and his health scares and all that. You look like you mad that I skipped the story. You mad?
I'm not.
Child, why you looking like that then? You mad 'cause I because it wasn't gooey. That's why. It was fake. I don't need to talk about fake stories over here. I'm talking about real shit. It's been refuted. Y'all, Donald Trump is down here sick as hell, y'all. I got a video for y'all to see. Y'all want to see it? Watch this.
It's not looking good for you, Donald. Yesterday during a press conference, you just fell asleep and started snoring while a press conference about health-related things was taking place. Zoom in on him right now. Yeah, what the hell was going on there? Then during this press conference, someone associated with Eli Lilly who was in the room collapsed, and your response was to just stand up, freeze, and look at the cameras. Very odd behavior. Then you put up 3 pieces of paper on the outside of the Oval Office that says the Oval Office. Do you need help trying to get there? Do you need that to remind you where the door is to the Oval Office? It seems like that's what's going on. And of course, that's in addition to the recent photographs of you with the droopy mouth, which many say could be related to mini strokes. It's just an opinion, of course. The hands that are discolored, the chronic venous insufficiency that your press secretary, Caroline Levitt, looked at. Look at the various stages of this venous insufficiency, the spider veins to the venous ulcers.
This is why they call him Kanks.
We're not sure what stage you're on, but it does not look very good, Donald. Then, of course, there's the MRI that you had. You've admitted to an MRI. Midas Touch Network, we talked about it when the second medical report was published since April, and it was incredibly suspicious. There was the April report, then this October 10th, 2025 report, which talked about advanced imaging, which we said right away, that must be an MRI. So what could the MRI be about? Just take a look at what Dr. Jonathan Reiner, Dick Cheney's former cardiologist, just had to say, that it really could be these neurological symptoms. Here, play this clip.
Medical analyst, Dr. Jonathan Reiner. Most of us do not get an MRI as part of a normal physical. Aren't they typically used to detect things like strokes and aneurysms and tumors? I mean, do you have any clues as to why the president would have gotten an MRI?
It's not part of a routine screening. There's been really a lack of candor. The big question is, what prompted his MRI? So what symptoms were they concerned about? what particular type of MRI was performed. Was it a brain MRI? Was it a cardiac MRI? Was it an MRI of spine, of his prostate? What prompted a concern that would take him in a relatively unscheduled way to Walter Reed for this testing? Why didn't they tell us that? Didn't they disclose that he was tested when Dr. Barbarella issued his report after the president's visit? And now, why won't they tell us exactly why the testing was performed and the results? I think without that, then there's really no trust.
Now, this also reminds me of what Dr. David Shiner had to say back in, when was it, 2019 or so, that he thought even back as 2019 that Donald Trump was beginning to have.
Now, y'all know the Midas touch gets it good and right every single time, baby. I didn't even have to read this story. Midas touch just told me everything I needed to know about it, and guess what? It's good to me. Bye, Donald. Again. And guess what it's time for, y'all? It's time for boom, the Kim K Slam. Y'all, Steve Bannon is predicting his ass is going to go to jail in 2028, and I think it's right unless his ass croak first. Bye. All right, y'all. We have to give Chuck Schumer a pass. We have to. Unfortunately, everybody was dogging his ass out, including me. And guess what? I have to eat my words because I think he does have a plan. And we're going to have to see what happens with it. Y'all, Shannon Sharp's girlfriend buying a mansion. We don't care. You know, we talked about this already with the government shutdown. That was a really long piece that I did. Like, I hope y'all got what I was saying up down here. Wendy Williams, you know, you're going to be out soon, hopefully. Out soon. Antonio Brown, baby, I don't know. Hold on, I'm doing the show. My mama's over here trying to have a full-blown conversation with me while I'm doing the show. Lord. Y'all, Nat Turner's an ancestor and always has been one, and he's one of the good ones. He's secretly plotting with us to make this country be better, and it's happening every single day. Diddy, we know you don't need to be working down there to that church. Don't even try that. Those kids are not still that tank. And Trump, your health is fucked up, okay? Judah, how can people get in contact with you?
On Instagram at Judah's Photography, JUDAHS_photography_.
And I love y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. It was good.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'll be doing till next time, y'all. I'll be sitting here waiting at the door. Bye.
Sitting here waiting at the door, yeah. 1942. Sitting here waiting on you, yeah. Just waiting on you, just waiting that I'm spending all alone. Been waiting for you to walk through.
Y'all, my mama just asked me why am I sitting here waiting at the door. I told her because I'm sitting here waiting on the door for the tea. Ain't that right, Judah?
Yep.
Bye. Oh, bye. Double ending.